Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman walk into a bar. The Englishman wanted to leave, so they all had to. And that's exactly what's occurring right now, except on a global scale. The United Kingdom joined the European Union in 1991 under the Maastricht Treaty. The various countries of the EU are part of founding treaties of the Union, and all are subject to binding laws within common legislative and judicial institutions. There are many regulations that each member state must follow. There must be free movement of labor throughout the EU, superiority of the EU court, child benefits for migrant workers, work time restraints, temporary agency worker directive, fishing laws, value-added tax for energy bills for the purpose of regulation, the renewables directive, banking regulations, road safety regulations, clean water restriction, and standards for optimal electricity use for utilities such as vacuums and hair dryers. There are even some strange regulations, like the standard quality of a banana that is allowed to be sold in the states of the European Union. The general population of people in favor of Brexit believe that migrants from around Europe are taking jobs and places in schools from British citizens. They also think that the United Kingdom would be able to make its own trade deals with other nations and be able to legislate in the interests of British manufacturing rather than the interests of the European Union as a whole. The masses for Brexit believe that the EU has become centralizing, regulating, and controlling over their country. In fact, the people of the United Kingdom would potentially be paying cheaper prices for goods like food, since they would be paying world prices instead of the prices set by the EU. The people against Brexit believe that there will be too much uncertainty about the UK's economic future, which would lead to a decrease in investor confidence in companies of the United Kingdom. More people will be investing less and less in the UK as time passes. This uncertainty is most likely because the European Union takes almost half of the United Kingdom's exports. Without the EU, the United Kingdom will not be able to export as much as it would if it remained in the European Union. The discombobulation that will occur if the United Kingdom breaks away from the European Union also causes people to be against Brexit. It is also likely that all of Europe would also be weakened from a powerful country leaving from a prominent trade agreement. The people against Brexit also realize that it would be much more complicated to go to different countries around Europe. United Kingdom citizens would now need visas, and if they live in other countries, they would not be able to access the NHS of the UK. And an obvious reason of why people are against Brexit is that the economy of the United Kingdom would shrink, which would result in the global, political, and economic power of the UK to shrink as well. The individuals of the Conservative Party are both pro and against Brexit. The Labour Party is largely against Brexit. The Democratic Unionist Party of Northern Ireland, the Scottish National Party, the Sinn Féin Party, and the Plaid Cymru Party are all against Brexit. But if Brexit does end up happening, they will all propose a referendum to leave the United Kingdom, since they reap the benefits of the EU the most out of the nations of the United Kingdom. The Independent Group and the Liberal Democrat Party are both against Brexit. The Green Party believes that leaving the EU will cause so many economic policy issues that environmental policies will be overshadowed, so they are against Brexit. The nation of England is pro-Brexit, while the nations of Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland are all against Brexit. You may be confused why Brexit was even passed if only a quarter of the United Kingdom is pro-Brexit. It's because England is so densely populated that their opinion essentially trumps all the other nations' opinions. If Brexit ends up happening in the future, there could be a hard Brexit, meaning that the UK will leave the European Union with no restrictions other than a new free trade agreement, which may end up as disastrous for the United Kingdom's economy. Additionally, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland may begin to fight again, bringing back the Ireland Civil War no one wants. Every United Kingdom citizen living in a member state of the EU will now have to go through the strenuous process of things like customs and visas. Though the UK may be able to pay cheaper prices for things like produce, the economic benefits provided by the European Union largely outweigh any benefits that could be provided by Brexit. The United Kingdom depends on the EU more than the United Kingdom citizens realize. Recently, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, proposed a deal for Brexit that he was certain would pass Parliament, but In a shocking development, Parliament rejected the deal in order to extend the deadline for leaving the EU. Parliament had said on Tuesday that they will approve Johnson's deal if the deadline for Brexit is extended. As a result, Boris Johnson said that he will try to extend the deadline to the day of the planned general election, December 12th. In my opinion, I believe that this Brexit ordeal will never be solved in a clean manner. I think that Parliament should try to extend the deadline even further so that an exact deal results with a planned out procedure on how to exactly leave the European Union. A hard Brexit will damage the United Kingdom on top of the heavy blows the UK will face with their whole economy changed for the better and for the worse by leaving the European Union.